Oh, wait, can you not hear me? Maybe now you can hear me. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Hopefully, I have all my settings correct and you can hear me all right. Good morning, P Fox. Good morning, Meg P. Cat K. Willie, what up? Hello, Beach Babe. Hello, welcome on in. Ro, good morning. Trying to get to everybody. Nelly, what is the problem? My cat's losing her mind. I don't know. She probably sees a bug. So if you hear her freaking out in the back, it's probably because there's a bug. Welcome in, everybody. Good morning. Hope you're having a good day. All right, let me get down here to the bottom of my chat. How is my sound? Let me know how I'm doing. What is the problem? All right, sorry. I know we just started. Hang on one second. Maybe if I pop open the window for her, maybe that's what she wants. She wants the window open, maybe. Give me one second. I will be right back. All right. All right. Sorry. Yeah, see, no, I opened the window and even that she doesn't want. So I'm not sure. Hello, everyone. Suzanne, hello. Kane, what up? Welcome on in. Kane, is that your Google Drive for the documents or mine? Because I tried to delete mine. I probably like totally doxed myself or something last night. I'm not even sure. I had to go back and go through everything and like private so much stuff. So I'm not even sure if that will work. What are you sharing, Kane? Um, oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I know. I was reading that yesterday too. I was reading a lot of them. I'm like really, really far ahead compared to where we're gonna start today, but that's okay. I just want to see, hi Halls. I just want to see how far we can get today. We're gonna start at page 44. So let's see, yeah. All right, so yeah, welcome on in everyone. Hope you're having a good day. It's a Tuesday. It's technically my day off. So yeah, I figure we can probably do a couple hours today, see how many we can get through. I am way far ahead, and there is a lot of crazy shit in these reports. But we'll get to it, we'll get to it. Um, Jesse, good morning. So yeah, I guess let's get cracking, right? We'll do this together. Um, I did include in the description of this live links to the docs. I did include two links for the last two lives that have covered all the way up to where we're going to start today. So if you missed it, you want to catch it on the replay, put it at 2 speed, whatever. There's links there. Feminem, what up? What up, gangsta? Hi, Feminem. Good to see you. Beckles. Hi. How you doing, Beckles? Kane coming in hot. Like Kane just came into chat, dropping links, telling everybody, go read this, go read that, giving spoilers and shit. You know, that's thanks, Kane. Love you, buddy. I'm just fucking with you, Kane. I love you to death. Sorry I couldn't hang out too long last night. I came in and said hello and showed some love. Hung around for a while, but then I had things to do. Misty Jane, hello. How are you? Yes, it is Taco Tuesday, Suzanne B. That's right. I was actually thinking about that this morning. What am I gonna make for dinner? Tacos. Tacos it is. Yeah, I know, right? Meg P sounds like Kane. That's all right, Kane. I love you. I'm sure all of us have there's many of us who probably already gotten through all of them. It's totally fine. We're just hanging out and doing this, to preserve the record, basically. We're just preserving the record over here. Nelly, I don't know what you want. Stop. Go eat your kitty food. I know what she wants, but she can't have any. Oh, Suzanne B. Margaritas. Yeah. I don't drink, though. I would have probably some red wine, good Italian red wine. Not a big, I can't do tequila, though. I don't drink that hard liquor. Tomboy Charm, hello. Welcome on in. Mm, tacos El Pastor. Yum. All right. So, yeah, we're going to start at page 44. This is for preservation of the record. Okay. That's all that this is. I know plenty of us have gotten way further. It's totally fine. Kane, if you want to give spoilers, you can give spoilers. You guys can talk about it in chat. If my audio starts getting bad, maybe Willie can text me or someone can text me, but I don't want to keep my phone too close to me either because I think it interferes. So I don't know. I'll try and keep an eye on chat and hopefully my audio is able to get us through this. Fingers and toes crossed. Then again, it wouldn't be one of my lives if we didn't have some audio issues, right? So, this what it is. Let me grab my coffee. Can't go without that. Get your coffee, get your vapes, get your, snacks, whatever you need. Sound is good. Sound is good. Okay, awesome, friends. Thank you. Let's get it cracking. We're going to start at page 44. Son of a bitch, I opened my window and it's going to begin. Let me shut my window. I hear them all coming out of the building next door, all of the children. Hang on. Let me shut my window. Fuck my life. All right. Make this a little bit bigger. Oh, it's going to give me a problem. Hang on. I know what it's doing. Set it. All right. Real quick. Sorry. Make sure that's good. Hello. 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 Oh my gosh. Willie, if you're calling me, I think we're good, homie. I think we're good. I'm back. I'm back. Oh my goodness gracious. I was trying to close out just the other tab, and I accidentally closed out all of the tabs, including my own, um, my own live. So yeah, like I said, it literally would not be alive with me if I didn't have bad audio or I didn't accidentally boot myself out of my own live. So, so far, one down, one down. Let's hope the rest stays fine. Good morning, Sharon. Hello. Okay, so are we good now? Let me just double check audio now that I had to let myself back in. Uh, okay, looks like that's correct. Looks like that's correct. That's correct. Okay. Bree Sully. What up, Bree? Hey, girl. Hey. How you doing, honey? None your business. What up? Amethyst Noir. Hello. Caroline. Hello. Mary. Hello. Nanya. Yes, I'm back. Oh my goodness gracious. I don't know what I did. Yeah, it is what it is. I accidentally closed out all my tabs, guys. Sorry. Okay, so let me make sure before I share this that this is actually where we need to be in this document. We're going to start at page 44. Yeah, looks good. Let's share. Steve W., hello. One more day to remission, huh? Oh my goodness. No fifth round. Well, yes. Oh, we all are hoping for that too for you, sir. Hopefully only one more day towards remission. Sending lots of love and lots of hugs. You take care of yourself. Gina, hello. Gina Wallace. Hello. All right, let's share this. Make sure it's big enough for everybody. I know I can make it bigger and move myself and you'll still hear me. Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. Thanks everybody for being here. Welcome on in. You cry a lot, Steve. I bet you do. Yeah. My mom did too when she was going through it. It's okay. Cry away. You do whatever you need to do. Misty Jane. Raspy and sexy. Yeah. Well, I hate my own voice, but thanks, honey. I hate when I have to go back and listen to my own audio. Ugh. And then Kane, he'll take my like something I do and he'll put it at 2 speed and it's even worse. But I'm glad you like my voice. Thanks. Canadian cat lady. Hello. Steve, if you need to cry, it's okay, cry. And then find something to laugh about too if you can. It's always good to have a sense of humor about everything, I feel like, no matter what. Gina, no way, really? Yeah, that's what my mom that was my mom. Praying for everybody out there going through it, medical health-wise. There's a lot of people going through it big time. Guys gotta take care of yourselves no matter what. As hard as it is, find something to laugh about each day, even something little and stupid. Trade with Journal. Hello. Welcome on in. Terry, hello. Sending all prayers. Gina, your hubby, Steve, to you. Take care of yourselves. Rest when you need to. If your nausea's bad, not promoting the rugs or nothing, but like edibles really help my mom. Little gummy candies really help with their nausea, and she was able to eat food every now and then, at least. So, you know, but I'm not a doctor. Don't listen to me. Don't do what I do. Sending love and healing out into the world. Yes, Bree Sully. Absolutely. Love and light, you know. Um, all love and light. Nothing but the light. You got to find the light, even when it's really dark. Sometimes you got to make your own light, unfortunately. So, Probably, Monica. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Welcome on in. Welcome on in, everybody. All right. So, yeah, we're going to get into it. Give it a thumbs up, give it a thumbs down, follow your heart. Welcome also to all of the new members. Those of you who've been taking on a membership, you guys are awesome. Really appreciate it. I have turned some things into members only content. We are going to be doing some members only lives. And then I also have a couple of videos I'm working on that are going to be members only as well. So, I do have some things. I'm also, trying to, I don't know. I want to like be able to give people stuff, but I don't know how I'm going to do that. But, anyways, I appreciate all the members and I appreciate those of you who are gifting memberships. If you got a gifted membership, make sure you say thank you in the chat. I know Meg P. Fox, there was quite a few people the other day who gifted some memberships. Krista Marie. So, thank you so much. And to the rest of you who became a member, thanks. You're awesome. I am working on things for you. So let's see, the last couple lives that we did, we were able to get up to page 44. So I'm not going by supplemental report number 44. I'm going by page number 44, just so everybody understands where we're at here. My brain is operating on page numbers. So hopefully that helps. Christy Nevada, hello, how are you? Welcome on in. So good to see you. Truth Seeker, hello. Who else am I missing? Design Rhythm, hello. Good to see everybody. Welcome in. Hope you're having a great day. All right. Mods, thank you for being here. By the way, I don't know who I have here for a mod. I know I saw Meg P. Who else did I see? Kane, Meg P. Uh, Felt like there was one more. Willie. Who else? I think there's 3 or 4 of you here, hopefully. Yeah, mods, if you happen to see anybody come in while I'm in another window reading and I don't say hi to them, just let them know I'm not ignoring them. Just can't see them. So once I get in another window, I can't see you guys. Sorry, can't see my chat. V, hello. Amy, hello. P Fox, yes, you as well. There you are, darling. Yes. Okay, so there's quite a few of you. Yeah, I get it. You guys have other shit to do. And I don't expect you to just sit here all day and mod for me. I hope you understand that. I have no expectations. But Swamp Rose is in here. Where? Where's Kiki? I did not see Kiki. Where is she? There you are. Oh, blew right past. Swamp Rose. Hello, darling. Beautiful Kiki. Okay, cool. So there's a bunch of you here. Yeah, obviously, I do not expect you to stop your lives and mod for me for 2 hours. But if you happen to be here hanging out and you do see someone say hi and I don't acknowledge them, just say hi to them for me, please, because I'm going to be in another window reading. Sorry, friends. All right, let's get into it. We are starting at page 44. This is from Detective Eric Pacina, Idaho State Police, Detectives District 3, November 18th, interviewed redacted in regard to the homicides. So we have a witness, white male, age 21, looks like his home is in Eagle, Idaho. Property obtained is evidence non-drug. So it's just probably audio video recording. Let's see. November 18th, 2022, Detective Pacina and I, Sergeant Hoxie, interviewed University of Idaho student redacted, date of birth 2001. I asked redacted to run me through his day. Redacted stated the following. Redacted stated he started his day at approximately 10:30 to 11 a.m. Food and ate. He took his girlfriend, redacted, some beer over at the treehouse. They started drinking prior to the Vandal game. At approximately 4 p.m., he said he went to the game. Redacted returned home between 8 and 9 p.m. and had a sandwich. Wonder if this is the kid who cut himself with the making the sandwich and he cut himself cutting the chicken for his sandwich. Said he took a 2-hour nap. At approximately 11 p.m., Redacted woke up. His roommate was wanting to go to the bar. They went to the corner club, had a few beers, and hung out. At approximately 1:45 a.m., their fraternity president, redacted, picked up, redacted, redacted, and redacted, and drove them home. After getting home, they hung out for about 15 to 20 minutes to check on his friend who had consumed too much alcohol. Redacted said he went to his room where his girlfriend was already in bed. Redacted said they talked for a bit and believed he fell asleep around 2:45 a.m. I asked Redacted if he heard any noises that could have woken him. He said no. He did say his friend, Redacted, told him he heard a dog barking between the hours of 4:15 and 5. Redacted said it sounded like Murphy. Murphy was a dog who was shared between their two houses. So Murphy is a dog shared between their two houses. So this is a kid who lives in, I'm almost positive, Jack DeCour's place, right? Redacted said Murphy was at the girl's house that day. I asked Redacted how close he knew the girls. He said, quote, I'm like a handshake to them, end quote. Redacted knew Kaylee through Redacted. They had dated for a while. He never really talked to Madison Mogan. He was friends with Xana Kernodle and had met Ethan Chapin at an event called Rush. I asked Redacted if he had seen any of the victims that night. Redacted said he saw Gonsalves and Mogan at the corner club. Redacted said they were with Redacted. He said they were heading to John's Alley. See, another one. Redacted said he heard Redacted was kicked out of John's Alley. After John's Alley, the three of them went to the grub truck and he believed they went home afterwards. Hmm. I asked Redacted if any of the victims were involved in the use of drugs. He said he knew Redacted and Gonsalves and Mogan had Redacted. He wasn't sure if Kernodle redacted. Smoke weed, did coke? I have no idea, right? Who knows? Sergeant Hoxie asked if the girls had a party the night before or the day of the incident. Redacted said he saw a bunch of people dressed up and walking to the house with speakers. He believed they had a formal night before the incident. Sergeant Hoxie asked if he had heard about a stalker. Redacted said he heard from Redacted Sunday night. Gonsalves was followed to her car in the parking lot at Winco. So it's interesting, sidebar. A lot of these people start saying that the first time they heard Gonsalves had a stalker or about anything following her is after the murders, is when the rumors started. That's the first time they heard of it, is after the murders. So I thought that was pretty interesting. He heard Gonsalves might have been followed in the store as well. Sergeant Hoxie asked Redacted how he heard about the incident. Redacted said Redacted's best friend FaceTimed her and said, quote, hey, there's a bunch of police officers outside. Do you know what's going on? End quote. Redacted went upstairs and saw the officers taping off the scene. Redacted said after the Winco thing happened, Redacted told him a couple weeks ago all the roommates were out of the house getting groceries, and when they returned, their sliding glass door was open. Sidebar, others have said they were out at Starbucks. So some are saying they were out getting groceries, some are saying they did a Starbucks run. But either way, when they returned, sliding glass door was open. I think there's a couple of other reports where it's the front door was off the hinges. So MPD reports it says like the front door, the hinges were loosened and the door had been like taken off the hinges. And it was Xana's dad who fixed it because he was there that weekend for parents' weekend, the weekend prior. It's really interesting when you like see the variations in the reports between Moscow, ISP. It's interesting. Some people think they were out at Starbucks when the door thing happened. Some people think it's the slider. Some people think they were out getting groceries. You know, so the Starbucks is the front door, groceries is slider. I don't know. It's weird. I asked Redacted if there was any other information he feels we should know. Redacted said he had heard from Redacted that one of the girls was downstairs. He heard from Redacted one of the girls was downstairs. When she opened the door, she saw a person in a ski mask made eye contact, slammed her door, and locked it. Interview was terminated. I bet it was. I bet it was. Which detective is this again? Who was this? Hoxie. Hoxie and Pacina. So Hoxie and Pacina speak to this person who lives at Jack's place. The dog is shared over there. And this person tells Hoxie here and Pacina what he heard about what happened, right? And he says, well, what I heard is that one of these girls was downstairs. And when she opened her door, she saw a person in a ski mask. She made eye contact, slammed her door, and locked it. Interview was terminated. These two were like, wait, what? Eye contact? When did they do this? November 18th. So this is 5 days after. Interesting. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Downstairs, though. I wonder which downstairs he meant. Downstairs first floor? Because wouldn't that be interesting if this person means he heard that one of the girls was downstairs, meaning first floor? Opened when she opened the door, not her door. When she opened the door, she saw a person in a ski mask, made eye contact, slammed her door, and locked it. I don't know. Either way, it's hearsay. It's third party. He's just saying what he heard from someone else, but it's interesting. All right, so next one, we have Kenneth Beckner here. Oh, sorry, guys. I should be telling you. I'm just going by page number. Sorry. We're on page 46. It's technically supplemental report number 14. You'll find it up here in the right-hand corner. One we just read was 13. So here we have Kenneth Beckner. Also, Detective Sergeant District 3, 1118, 116. ISP detectives interviewed redacted at the ISP District 3 office in Meridian. So we have witness, white female, 22. Her home is in Boise. Evidence non-drug. CD of her interview. November 18th, 2022. Idaho State Police Detective Sergeant Ken Beckner and Trooper Andrew Weinstein interviewed redacted at the ISP District 3 office in Meridian. Redacted's mother was also present. Okay. Redacted stated the following. She lived in the room that Redacted is currently in. So that's either going to be Dylan or Bethany because here we see everybody else's name, right? I think everybody can agree logical deduction. If Mogan, Kernodle, and Gonsalves are in here, the redacted name is likely Bethany or Dylan. I'm going to go with Dylan because it's a longer name. Yeah, let me come back to chat. Does that sound fair? Does that sound fair to everybody? Welcome on in, everybody. Says there's 140 of you here. Give it a thumbs up, thumbs it down, do something. No, it's not Ashlyn, darling. This is someone who lives there. The name is redacted, and it's based on what I'm seeing here. The names that are redacted are usually Dylan and Bethany when it's referencing the other people that lived in the home. Because Mogan, Gonsalves, Kernodle, and Chapin, their names aren't redacted. They're actually in bold, like capitals. So I just feel like logical deduction would be the redacted name. So this person they're interviewing used to live in the room that redacted is currently in. Madison Mogan is the only one currently in the house that was in the house last year, too. Mogan was her best friend. She knew Xana Kernodle very well and became close to Kaylee Gonsalves. Mogan FaceTimed her that night, 12:40 a.m. Moscow time. Mogan was at the corner club. The conversation was only about 40 seconds. Mogan was with her friend, Redacted. She communicated with Mogan every day. Mogan's boyfriend was Redacted. He was with Redacted's group of friends Saturday night at the bars in Boise. She was told by Redacted of a time at Winco when someone followed Gonsalves out of the building to her car. There was also another time when all the roommates of 1122 King Road went out for a bit, and when they came back, the back door was open after being previously locked. She heard Gonsalves was walking her dog once and had seen someone hiding behind a garbage dumpster. Gonsalves felt Gonsalves felt someone had been watching her. This was about a month prior. Redacted had moved in to the 1122 King Road house this semester. Her boyfriend was Redacted and lived in Boise. So one of the survivors, is my assumption, Dylan or Bethany, moved into the 1122 King Road house this semester. Her boyfriend is Redacted and lives in Boise. She thought we should talk to Redacted. Last year, her friend Redacted was contacted by a man she didn't know who knew her name and her major. Redacted kept seeing this man. He once came up to her at the corner club. He knew Mogan's major. Redacted is still on the lease of the house. The guy was about their age. So this person who doesn't live there at all, when she's being interviewed, her name is still on the lease, even though she doesn't live there. And her home is in Boise. Okay, next one. We have Eric Pacina. Again, going on to report number 15, page 48. All right, let's see. November 18th, interviewed Redacted. We have another unknown female, age 22, also home in Boise. Also evidence non-drug CD of the interview. November 18th, 2022, Sergeant Hoxie and I, Detective Pacina, interviewed University of Idaho graduate. So this is someone who's already graduated. I asked her to run me through her day. She stated the following. She graduated in May, and her name was still on the lease. She planned on returning to Moscow for work. Redacted's boyfriend, Redacted, was still living there as well. She would visit often. The last time she visited was Halloween weekend. Madison Mogan was her best friend. Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and her were in the same sorority. Kaylee Gonsalves was Mogan's childhood best friend. Redacted said she never hung out with Ethan Chapin. The last time she spoke to Mogan was a week prior to the incident via text. I asked Redacted if Mogan ever mentioned anything about a stalker. Redacted said no. Redacted asked Mogan how the house was doing. The house. Mogan said the house and the roommates were great. They had a good system in place. Redacted was Mogan's boyfriend. They had been dating for approximately 2 years. Their relationship was good, and they never had any arguments. She never observed any arguments between them. Sergeant Hoxie asked what room she lived in when she stayed there for school. Redacted said her room was upstairs on the left and Mogan's was on the right. So this person is claiming they lived in what is Kaylee's room. And that her name is still in the lease. Over the summer, she still had some belongings there because she planned on going back. So they must have asked her why some of her belongings were still there. That's why I want to hear the audio interviews. I know we're just getting the report, and their supplemental reports are like the cliff notes of their interviews, and they usually say, like, refer to the CD or refer to the audio or refer to the video for the full interview. I would like to have the audios and stuff to hear the full things, to hear the questions being asked. Towards the end of July, Gonsalves texted redacted and asked if she could move into her room. So towards the end of July, Gonsalves texted redacted, asked if she could move into her room. Redacted told her yes because she had decided not to go back to the house and stayed in Boise. Gonsalves worked from home remotely and was home most of the time. Gonsalves had a roommate who was living with her for the summer. Hmm. So towards the end of July, Gonsalves texted redacted, asked if she could move into her room on the third floor. Redacted tells her yes, because she's deciding not to go back and stay in Boise. And then this person says that Kaylee worked from home remotely, was home most of the time, and that Kaylee had a roommate who was living with her there for the summer. Hmm. Okay. I asked if she knew all the tenants who currently reside in the house. Redacted said, along with the three involved, Redacted and Redacted, who lived in Reno. So obviously one of these is Bethany. Redacted kept in contact with her regularly. She met Mogan in 2019 and had been friends with her since. She said Mogan was the most anti conflict person ever. Redacted told her the Friday before the incident, the girls had a redacted sorority formal. The formal was kept intimate. They only had people they knew at the formal, and it did not get out of hand. Redacted described the house she lived in as an open door policy, meaning people were constantly going in and out of the house. She was always scared of something like that happening. Quote, something like that happening. So this person literally is like, you know what? I'm not moving back in. Even when I lived there, the shit was sketch as fuck. I was always scared of something like this happening. She would triple check the lock on her bedroom door because she didn't feel safe. Mogan would leave her bedroom door unlocked most of the time, as well as her window. Oh my God. There were times she would hear footsteps in the house and would blow it off, thinking someone just had a friend over. Could you imagine? So this person described this house as, quote, having an open door policy. People were constantly going in and out. She was always scared of something like this happening. She would triple check the lock on her bedroom door because she didn't feel safe. And she knew Mogan would leave her bedroom door unlocked most of the time, as well as her window. Hmm, hmm. There were times she would hear footsteps in the house and would blow it off, thinking someone just had a friend over. Hmm, interesting. Sergeant Hoxie asked while she was living there if there were any break ins or if she heard of a stalker. There would be times she would wake up and would see the sliding glass door was unlocked. She thought it might have been from someone forgetting to lock the door after having people over the night before. I asked about other times the glass door was found unlocked or opened. Redacted told her, Redacted told her a while back they had all gone out, and when they got back, they noticed the sliding glass door was open. So this is either Dylan or Bethany told her a while back they had all gone out, or I guess, but I mean, they're not going to redact Maddie or Kaylee or Xana. Their names have been in here. It has to be Dylan or Bethany. So one of them told her a while back they had all gone out, and when they got back, they noticed the sliding glass door was open. The girls were usually pretty good at making sure the doors were locked. Most people would use the front door. Only their close friends would use the sliding glass door in the kitchen. Only their close friends would use the sliding glass door in the kitchen. Meanwhile, we have another person saying that the sliding glass door, everybody knew the sliding glass door was the front door, not the front door. Interesting. She had three different run ins with a white male who she described as 5'5", fit build, slick back hair, clean shaved, possibly mid-20s. First time was at the corner club. He approached her and called her by name. Redacted did not know him. He told her he had come back and changed his major. A little while after that incident during Parents' Weekend, Redacted saw the same guy at a restaurant called Nectar. He was sitting at the bar with his back to her. As she was leaving, he turned and stared at her as she left. She told her boyfriend about the weird guy she kept seeing. The third time was walking down the street in town. The male was with a group of guys across the street. He turned and stared at her as she walked by. She told her boyfriend about the guy. Her boyfriend was going to talk to the guy, but she did not let him. She never figured out who the guy was, but did remember what he looked like. Sergeant Hoxie asked Redacted if Gonsalves ever talked about a stalker. Redacted told her about a time at Winco where Gonsalves thought someone was following her. Recently, Gonsalves told Redacted she took out Murphy. I guess they meant to put Murphy in here somewhere. Oh, she took out trash. Sorry, my bad. Recently, Gonsalves told Redacted she took out the trash to the dumpster located across the parking lot and felt there was a figure standing around close by. Gonsalves texted her friend Redacted and asked her when she would be home. Gonsalves was home alone at the time. Sergeant Hoxie asked if she heard about how the girls' day had gone. She heard about the day's activities from Redacted and through Snapchat. Redacted said they had a really good day and had fun. It sounded like they started at their house and then went to the Redacted apartments. She believed at some point Kernodle and her boyfriend, Redacted, and Redacted went back to the house because they weren't 21 years old. Mogan and Gonsalves then went to the corner club. Redacted told her the last text she got from Mogan was she just woke up from a nap and was going to the corner club. I asked Redacted if Redacted had mentioned what she thought happened. So one of the roommates. So I asked this person if, you know, Dylan or Bethany had mentioned what she thought happened. It was game day, so everyone had been drinking. Redacted told her she wasn't sure when Kernodle and Chapin got home. Kernodle was with Redacted, and they were home before Mogan and Gonsalves got back. I asked Redacted if Dylan or Bethany, whoever, had mentioned what she thought happened. It was game day, so everyone had been drinking. Redacted, either Dylan or Bethany, Dillany, I'll just say Dillany. Oh boy, Annie, you're not right in the head because we don't know which one. So I'm going to say Dillany. Dillany told her she wasn't sure when Kernodle and Chapin got home. Kernodle was with Redacted, and they were home before Mogan and Gonsalves got back. So let me come over to chat. How's my audio holding up, friends? Can you hear me okay? I'm just going to say Dillany, I guess. Yeah. We'll just go with Dillany. Thanks, Meanie. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Yeah, my redacted hamstrings has a migraine. I know, right? So here's my question, right? Because maybe this is just the way they wrote it. But according to this person, Dillany told her she wasn't sure when Kernodle and Chapin got home. Kernodle was with Redacted. So obviously it's not Chapin because Chapin's name is right here. So who is the redacted person that Kernodle is with? And they were home before Mogan and Gonsalves got back. I don't understand what that it's very interesting, huh? Loud and clear, raspy voice here in Oregon. Thanks, Chappy Boss. Thanks. Audio's holding up, thank goodness. Clifton Mayo, hello. Good to see you. Annie Ruler, hello. Hi, everyone. Design Rhythm, hello. All right. So, Gen 7. OG, what up, gangsta? So, yeah. Okay. So, I don't know. That just stuck out to me. It's as weird. Like, who's the redacted person that Delaney thought Kernodle was with? Because it's not Chapin. So, I don't know. Redacted told her. So, Delaney told her she went upstairs and ate grub truck with Mogan and Gonsalves. She went she went back downstairs to go to bed. I asked Redacted if Delaney mentioned seeing anybody else in the house or if anybody came home with Mogan and Gonsalves. She said no. It sounded like it was just the three of them eating grub truck. Redacted. So Delaney told Redacted she woke up around 4 a.m. to music playing. She hoped Gonsalves would turn it off soon. Delaney had said she could hear Gonsalves and their dog Murphy play upstairs. Shortly after that, Delaney told Redacted the music turned off and she heard Gonsalves say, quote, I think someone is here. Delaney told Redacted she heard someone run upstairs and run back down. Delaney said she peeked out of her room and did not see anything, but could vaguely hear someone in the bathroom. She called Redacted and Redacted told her to come down to her room. After a few minutes, Delaney told her she opened her bedroom door and saw a person standing out there and they made eye contact. Delaney said he then walked out the sliding glass door. That's interesting, huh? Woke up around 4 a.m. to music playing. She was hoping Gonsalves would turn it off. Delaney said she could hear Gonsalves and the dog Murphy playing upstairs. Shortly after that, Delaney says the music turned off and she heard Gonsalves say, I think someone is here. Delaney also says she heard someone run upstairs and run back down. She heard. So she peeked out of her room and she heard someone run upstairs and run back down. Well, if you're peeking out of your door, how do you not see them run up and run down? Oh, peeked out of her room after. Sorry. Sorry. Get it together, Annie. Hmm. So she didn't see anything. Okay. Anyways, this is a different person. Sergeant Hoxie asked if Redacted, if Delaney had described this person to her. Redacted told her, Delaney told her she felt hazy and didn't remember many details. Delaney told her she thought the person was about her height and had his face and forehead covered. Delaney said she ran to Delaney's room and locked the door. Sergeant Hoxie asked why she thought someone would want to harm her friends. She thought it was someone who was watching. She thought it was someone who was watching. She was always afraid of that. Someone who lived there, by the way, and decided not to go back because the fucking house creeped her out. She always had an uneasy, weird feeling at the house, which is one of the reasons why she didn't go back. She felt the house was easy to get into and easy to watch because they didn't have any blinds over the windows and layout of the house. Redacted had told Redacted the sliding glass door was broken at one point. If the door was jiggled just right, the door would unlock. If the front door was locked, you had to enter the code in the keypad, but if the deadbolt wasn't locked, the door could be opened. I don't know why my highlighter does that. It's the real MVP is my highlighter. I asked Redacted if there was anybody else we should talk to, and she said we should talk to Redacted. The interview was concluded. So isn't that interesting? A former person who lived here and decided she was not going to go back because this place freaked her out. She was always afraid of something like this happening. She, felt very uneasy, felt very it's really interesting when you think about it. It really is. I wonder how many other people who lived there also felt the same way. Too easy to get into, too easy to watch, too easy to yeah, exactly, P Fox, right? Watching what? John T, hello, welcome on in. Good to see you. Probably, who knows at this point. WB, what up? Welcome on in. Good to see you. Jen, good to see you, honey. Do you like it? Dillany? It's a good one. Dillany. I like it. It's easier to read. Dillany went to Dillany's room. And then, we're not saying anyone's name, but I don't have to say redacted. Me saying redacted over and over and over again and looking at the black boxes makes me want to jab my own eye out. James Moen, good to see you. Can we switch jobs for a week? I mean, if you want to, sure. I don't know how much you'd like my job. I shop. Maybe you'd like my job. Clifton, I know, right? There's a lot of weird characters in this story, and that's just in the chat. I know, right? All right, well, hopefully my audio is holding up for us. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. We'll get back into it. I mean, I have the hiccups anyway, but it's okay. Sorry, guys. Stone, yeah. Still paying rent, still on the lease, but doesn't want to go back, which makes me think that she may be because her lease is like a full year. She still had like 6 months left on it or whatever and decided not to go back. Maybe she was being told, like, too bad. You have to pay or sublet your room. That's the only thing I could think of, which would make sense why, oh shit, Lucy, beep, beep. There you are. Hello. Good to see you, darling. My dark queen. Beep, beep, Lucy. So yeah, I mean, maybe that's why Kaylee was contacting this girl and moving in August, saying, "Hey, can I take over your room?" Because the girl still had some time left on her lease and she would have to pay for it. Or if you break your lease, maybe you'd get in trouble or something. And she didn't, I don't know. Maybe there's a penalty for breaking the lease. I don't know. I have no idea. But, um, you know, there was something that made her feel like she couldn't get her name removed from the lease. She still had to pay rent, even though she didn't live there and didn't want to go back. And it looks like someone was subletting her room. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. Um, so, right, exactly. Answer 42, right. It looks like she ended up, that's the room Kaylee took over. So yeah, I don't know. Pretty interesting, It's pretty interesting. That's all I got to say about that. Uh, trying to see what I did here. Um, sorry. Trying to look at my chat. I don't know what I did. I think there's a super sticker somewhere. It says there's one. If you sent a super sticker, I can't see it. Thank you so much. I don't even know who it was, but if you did, thank you. Appreciate you. It says I have something over here, but it's not letting me view it. So, anyways, thank you to whoever that was. Appreciate you so much. All right, let's go to the next one. Going on the supplemental report, number 16. We are on page 51. We have Detective James Millar. Let's see, November 18th, 2022. Interviewed redacted regarding the homicides. Interview took place at the redacted, which is located at the redacted. This was interesting. Sidebar. A lot of these other reports, it'll show you. Uh, District 3, whatever, in Meridian. District 4, whatever, in Meridian. District whatever, Here it's redacted. And there's only a few of these that are like this, where wherever the interview is taking place, I don't know why they're redacting the address and its location in Boise. It's got to be like some kind of like FBI field office or something, because they're putting in like their detective units where they're bringing people to interview them. It shows it, District 3 office or whatever. So I don't know. I thought it was interesting. There's a couple of them that have it all redacted where the interview took place. Other than Boise, I don't know. This is for a witness, individual, white female, age 25. Evidence, non-drug. It's a flash drive with her interview audio. November 18th, 2022. ISP, Lieutenant Caitlin and I interviewed redacted regarding multiple homicides. The interview took place at, look at all this, redacted, in Boise. She left the university May 2021. She belonged to the redacted sorority, and Madison Mogen was her best friend. She was also friends with Kaylee Gonsalves, Xander Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, redacted, and redacted. She became close with Kernodle the year before she left the university. She had gone up to Moscow and seen all of them recently for Halloween. Oh, homecoming in October. Also Halloween, I'm guessing. So another one here who went back, even though she graduated, this is another one coming back around Halloween and homecoming for visit. She knew Gonsalves through Mogen. She met Chapin once or twice through Kernodle. She did not know redacted as well. She had only met them a few times. She received a FaceTime call from Mogen the night of the homicides at approximately 1:50 a.m. Boise time. So that would be 12:50 Moscow, correct? Boise's ahead 1 hour? I don't want to sound stupid. I don't remember. That would have been 12:50 Moscow time, right? Let me check my chat. Think it would be 12:50, right? I think so. Yeah, design rhythm, mountain time. Yeah, but it's so, yeah. So the Moscow time would have been 1 hour behind, right? 12:50 p.m. Okay, cool. Thank you so very much. I just want to make sure so I don't sound dumb. So it's actually 12:50 a.m. She got a FaceTime call, just like the other girl. Redacted. So she received a FaceTime call from Mogen the night of the homicides at approximately 1:50 a.m. Redacted was drunk at the time of the call. Mogen appeared to be also. So they're both drunk. The call only lasted approximately 1 minute. Redacted was with Redacted and Redacted during the call at a bar in Boise. Mogen was with Gonsalves at the Corner Club in Moscow during the call. Redacted had run into Mogen's boyfriend, Redacted, at a bar called Amsterdam Lounge in Boise. Redacted took a picture with Redacted at the bar at approximately 1:15 a.m., and Redacted was also in the photo. I confirmed the date and timestamp on the photo as being from the night of the homicides. She had been with Redacted, and some other friends every day since the homicides. She had seen Redacted, and others since the homicides. Monday, November 14th, Redacted, and others had come over after they arrived back in Boise. Redacted's parents met her in Boise and went back home with them. So I think this is like Dylan or someone. What she's saying is she's seen them all since the homicides, Monday, November 14th, redacted and others came over after they arrived back in Boise. Redacted's parents met her in Boise, and Redacted went back home with them. The last social media post Redacted had seen with any of the victims was a picture of Mogan on Gonsalves's Snapchat story. They were at the grub truck. She knew the person in the video at the grub truck was Redacted. She did not know him well. Redacted had a girlfriend the whole time Redacted was going to school at the University of Idaho. She knew Redacted's girlfriend, Redacted, better than him. Redacted and that girlfriend are not dating anymore. Redacted lived at the Brown apartments near the victims. She heard a rumor that Redacted has anger issues. She had heard another rumor that Redacted hunts. So obviously, we all know they're talking about Showalter, right? When she was up in Moscow during homecoming, she went to the victim's house, but did not go inside. The last time she was in the victim's house was on December 2021. Different girls were living in the house then. She knew where each of the victims' rooms were in the house. The room near the kitchen was Redacted's. The room by the bathroom upstairs, but still on the main level, was Carnodal's. The room downstairs, when you first walk in, was Redacted's. The room next to Redacted's was vacant, but Redacted was paying rent. The room upstairs, with the sliding glass door and the balcony, was Gonsalves. The tiny room upstairs with just a window on the balcony was Mogan's. Mogan is the only one who lived there for 2 years, and she stayed in that room the whole time. When she lived in Moscow, everyone used the front door to go in and out of the house. Redacted and Redacted were called by Redacted and Redacted the next morning. Redacted went upstairs and saw some of what happened. At the time of the interview, Redacted and Redacted were in Mexico. So she's talking about Emily and Hunter. So Redacted and Redacted were called by Redacted and Redacted the next morning. Emily and Hunter is my guess, or Emily and Dylan or whoever. At the time of the interview, these two were in Mexico because if I remember correctly, it was Emily Alant and Hunter that were in Mexico at the time of these interviews. And that's why these people, they couldn't be interviewed by like ISP and stuff, if I remember correctly. They were out of town pretty quickly on vacation because everybody was going on vacation at the time of the homicides, remember? Lots of people were leaving town for break and stuff. So, yeah, pretty interesting. She thought Redacted and Redacted called Redacted and Redacted because they were a little worried. Their other roommates weren't answering. Redacted thought she heard, Redacted thought she had heard someone in the house. So that's Dillany. So Dillany thought she had heard someone in the house the night before and wasn't sure if that person was still in the house. During Redacted's time living in Moscow, it wasn't uncommon for someone to walk into the wrong house drunk or to hear people up and moving around, in which case you might call someone you know instead of the police. So she's like helping to make excuses as to why police wouldn't be called if you think you hear someone roaming around the house. Redacted told Redacted she heard Gonsalves. Okay, so Dillany told Redacted she heard Gonsalves playing music earlier that night at approximately 4 a.m. She ended up going down to Dillany's room because Dillany was the only one who answered. They had been drinking all day the day before, and Redacted was a little freaked out. Oh, and Dillany was a little freaked out that someone might be in the house. She does not believe any of the victims used drugs. Mogan and Kernodle were servers at Redacted. Gonsalves was about to finish school. Since the homicides, Redacted and Redacted told Redacted a story about Mogan, Gonsalves, and Kernodle going to Winco. So since the homicides, Dillany told Redacted a story about Mogan, Gonsalves, and Kernodle going to Winco. Gonsalves went in. Gonsalves felt like someone was following her slash lurking around. This freaked Gonsalves out enough to get back in the car and lock the doors immediately. A man then tried to open the door. This happened approximately 2 to 3 weeks prior to the interview. 2 to 3 weeks prior to the interview. Okay. Since the homicides, redacted and redacted, so Dillany told the story of Gonsalves going outside to take Murphy out to urinate. There was a man watching her from the dumpster near the house. Gonsalves called redacted to see when she was going to be home. She did not know of a timeline when this event took place or what time of the day this took place. The weekend prior to the homicides, Mogan had flowed down to Boise and redacted. And Mogan spent time together. Okay, sorry. The weekend prior to the homicides, Mogan had flown to Boise, and Redacted and Mogan spent time together. Mogan never mentioned anything about this. She was told, she believed by Gonsalves' sister, so this person was told by who she believes is Olivia. Gonsalves woke up. Gonsalves' sister woke up the morning after the homicides. Oh, Jack woke up the morning after the homicides with 16 missed calls from Gonsalves and Mogan, which occurred at approximately 3 a.m. Gonsalves had called approximately 10 times, and Mogan had called approximately 6 times. There were also text messages sent to Redacted saying things like, bro, what the F, what the fuck, wake up. Gonsalves was known for calling a lot of times consecutively when she wanted to contact someone. Neither Gonsalves nor Mogan would call Redacted instead of the police for help. Redacted and Gonsalves had dated previously. They were currently broken up but good friends and Redacted. She is frustrated by the rumors and random accusations on social media. Okay, there's that one. Well then, so notice how it's all like a lot of these reports are the rumors about the stalker, the rumors about someone being by the dumpster, the trash can, whatever. They are all coming after the homicides. Nobody can recall this from prior. And it would appear it's Dillany telling people this stuff after the homicides. It's interesting. Blown. Yeah. Yeah. Who was awake? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. I wouldn't answer either. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't answer either. If I'm young, we're broken up, I've got a booty call over, and you're blowing up my phone, I'm going to mute you or I'm going to turn my volume down or something. You know what I mean? I don't know, especially if if it's like a normal thing that like just blowing your phone up, like if it was a normal thing, I could understand. If it wasn't normal, then it would be out of character that the phone is being blown up and maybe it's an emergency and I should answer. But I feel like if it was normal that she was always blowing up the phone, he probably just assumed it's just another, you know, just another it's another one of these instances where she's blowing up my phone and I don't feel like dealing with it and I got someone over. I mean, I don't know. We don't really know the intimate details of their relationship, so who knows? I know that I've been muted a couple times by, back in the day when I was young and in a relationship and blowing up my dude's phone, you know? He muted me because he's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Because I was bothering him. I was doing it on purpose too. Uh, so, um, I'm just saying, women, men. Maybe men do it too, but women I know, y'all sometimes we like to annoy the fuck out of our men. And, I mean, you know, not gonna lie. I feel like, e and because they had been together for so long and they're still like best friends, it seems like, it's probably not even that she's annoying him. It's just she doesn't see it as she's annoying him. She sees it as like that's it's just normal for her to like blow his phone up, right? When everybody else is sleeping or she can't go to bed or whatever, you know? Yeah, he was definitely Kane. More concerned about the dog for sure, yeah. 100%. I'm just saying, you know? I ain't gonna answer either. If we're broken up and I have a booty call over, I'm not answering you either, especially if it's normal that you blow up my phone. If it was abnormal, I would answer, but if it's normal, I probably wouldn't either. And, I don't think, even if he had answered, like, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna go over there and go fight Michael Myers and his friends? You think that these girls, if there was a serious emergency, wouldn't dial 911 at the first chance, even if they had to drop their phone while 911 is connecting or whatever? Do you get what I'm saying? Like something, text 911, something. You don't even have to call, they have the text now. So, do you get what I'm saying though? I feel like, in a severe, severe situation, emergency, why are you gonna call Jack and not 911, right? I'm gonna call 911. I'm not calling somebody else. That's just how I feel about it. I guess it all depends on the situation though, right? Are we sure it's them actually calling or are they being forced to call him? I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there for all we know. They were forced to call him. Call him. Keep calling him until he answers the phone. Get him over here. We have no idea, truly. We truly have no idea. Maybe him not answering and not maybe he didn't answer because he knew not to answer. I have no idea. We could speculate all day, you know what I mean? Just like the media speculate about, Brian's search history and this and that. I mean, I guess we could speculate about everybody else, right? And why they did what they did. I look at it as, yeah, could be anything at this point. Yeah. All right. So let's get back into this. Get on to the next one. ISP report number 17. Let's see. This is again James Millar, Detective Millar. November 18th, interviewed redacted regarding multiple homicides. Interview took place at the Idaho State Police District 3 office. See what I mean? Right here. It's not redacted here, but there, you'll see in some of these reports, the address of wherever these people were brought to for their interview is completely redacted. And all you'll see is Boise. I'm guessing it's some FBI field office. It's some spook government office that they're being dragged to. This is, let's see, witness, white female, 21 years of age. Property is going to be flash drive with the audio of her interview. Doesn't show home on this one. Let's see. November 8th, November 18th, 2022, at approximately 3:01, Sergeant Beckner and I interviewed redacted regarding multiple homicides which took place in Moscow. The interview took place at blah, blah, blah. During the interview, redacted stated the following. She lived at redacted Ave in Moscow. Her residence was in front of Madison Mogen's house. So that's the Whites, I believe, the White apartments where the famous picture was taken, if I remember correctly. She was no longer in a sorority, but she lived with some of the redacted sorority members. She knew Madison Mogen, Kaylee Gonsalves, Xander Kernodle. She had met Ethan Chapin, but did not know him well. She was closest with Mogen. She lived with redacted and redacted previously. She went to Mogen and Gonsalves' residence and often and was with them often. She did not go out during the day on game day. She did not attend the daytime party, but she saw them at the bar that night. She went to the corner club with her friend Redacted. Went to the corner club with her friend Redacted. She found Mogan and Gonsalves while she was there. She spent most of her time at the corner club with Mogan and Gonsalves. She was supposed to go home with them, but she had a weird feeling, so she got a ride with a freshman. Greek life designated driver. Look at that. She was supposed to go home with them. This person who was at the bar with Kaylee and Maddie at the corner club was supposed to go home with them, but she had a weird feeling. So she got a ride home instead from a designated driver through Greek life. Hmm. She left at approximately 1:15, right when they were leaving to go walk to the grub truck, right? Think that's right around the same time they're arriving at the grub truck or walking to the grub truck. Interesting. So she is supposed to go with them to their house and says, actually, I have a weird feeling. What, why? I can't wait to hear this interview. I hope we get to hear the audio for it. I hope there was some elaboration on that. And the detectives elaborated, like, what do you mean? Weird feeling. Like, was there something you saw or something you heard? Did someone make a comment? Like, what was it that made you, right? Right? Let me come back over to chat. When you hear someone say something like, I had a weird feeling, ask them, what do you mean? Something you saw, something you heard. What was it that made you have this weird feeling that all of a sudden you're deciding you're not going to go to their house with them, even though that's originally the plan? Plan is to go to um, John's Alley, right? And then home. But she has a bad feeling about it and changes her mind. I mean, I guess good on her, right? Good for her that she decided to not go. Um, but interesting. Hmm. I don't know. I would want to elaborate on that if I was questioning her. I would have some follow-up for that one. Really? So you were supposed to go with them and like stay there? What do you mean you had a weird feeling? About what? Was there some creeper? Did you see a creeper? I'd feed right into it like, "Oh my goodness, was somebody bothering you? Like, what was it that made you have this weird feeling? Did one of the girls say something to you? Did you overhear them say something to each other? What was it?" I'd be so nosy. Anybody else just have you would have so many questions just on that one statement alone about her weird feeling that made her change her mind. I'd have so many questions and I'd be so nosy. I just feel like there probably are tons of questions she was asked, and this is just their supplemental report. We don't have the full audio of like what she was asked. So, but hopefully, if we get to hear the audio, there was some follow up for this. Shit, I'd have some. There was a weird man at the bar. Like, I'd follow up on that. Really weird. Let's get some video for you to look at, darling. Point out this weird man for me. We have lots of videos from inside the corner club. Walk me through it. Where were you sitting? Approximately what time? Let's see if we can find this weird motherfucker on on the camera footage for you, honey. Let's do this, right? So there was a weird man at the bar. He was pushing her at the bar. Mogan introduced her to the man. The man was following Mogan, Redacted and Gonsalves around the bar. So this man, this weird man, is following Mogan, this redacted person, and Kaylee around the bar. Okay. Mogan told Redacted she had classes with the man. The man kept grabbing girls' butts and he grabbed Redacted's stomach. He spat at them and others. And Redacted was told the man was kicked out of the bar. He never said much. He seemed off and not just drunk. He seemed off and not just drunk. Okay. So this is where you would hopefully want to, sidebar, show this person video footage from inside the corner club. Hopefully, my audio is holding up for us, right? You would think that if people are actually being spat on, grabbed, things like that, police are going to be called unless they just deal with it internally. They kick you out, they'll ban you for a couple months or whatever. Um, but what gets me about this is that this girl, right? This is where you'd want to show her video, and you would need her to point exactly to who she's speaking about. I need you to point in this video where all of you are time this situation is happening. I need to see this person push you, spit, right? You don't just take someone's word for that shit. This is when you go ask the corner club for the video, all the video from that night, all of their stills, all of their footage, even if it's not a continuous video, even if it's only like, stills or whatever throughout the night that the camera automatically takes every 30 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever the case may be. I know that that bar has a lot of cameras, and they did back then. So I don't understand why at this point you're not asking her to specifically point out exactly what crowd you're in here in this footage. When she got home, she went to her friend's apartment, also in the redacted, which was directly across from Mogan's residence. So the whites, I'm guessing. When she got home, she went to her friend's apartment, also in the whites, which was directly across from Mogan's residence. She did not hear or see Mogan or Gonsalves come home, but she knew they went and got food at the grub truck after they left the corner club. She saw Gonsalves post on Snapchat with Mogan at the grub truck. She went home to her apartment at approximately 3:30 to 3:45 a.m. Okay. There were not a lot of people arriving home around that time, except for a few people belonging to the redacted fraternity who were staying in the apartment where she was hanging out. So the fraternity boys are showing up to the apartment she's leaving, and she is now walking to her apartment between this time and this time. Hmm. She knew there was speculation about redacted. Redacted texted redacted at approximately 3:04 a.m. to see what she was doing. Redacted grew up with redacted. Hmm. She knew there was speculation about redacted. Redacted texted redacted at approximately 3:04 a.m. to see what she was doing. Hmm. Speculation about redacted. And allegedly redacted texted redacted at approximately 3:04 to see what she was doing. Redacted grew up with redacted. Hmm, interesting. She has heard about a stalker, but she heard it could have been for any of the girls in that house. So now this person's saying, well, yeah, I heard about a stalker, but I mean, I heard that it could have been for any of them. She has heard about a man that used to follow Gonsalves on her walks with her dog and also had been seen around the dumpster. Dumpster guy again. Mogan, Gonsalves, and Kernodle did not use drugs. She spent a lot of time at Mogan, Gonsalves, and Kernodle's house. If she needed to borrow something, Mogan would text her the door code, but they would often leave their back door open. So Redacted would just walk around the back and often go in, and go in often. Usually the people who went to the victim's residence were known by other people in the group. So she spent a lot of time at King Road. If she needed to borrow something, they would just give her the code. Well, who'd you give the code to? That'd be my question. Did you give the code to anybody after they gave it to you? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Don't let us find out later you're lying. Know what I mean? Just saying. That's obstruction. If you ever gave anybody the code, you got to say it. I don't know. I guess we'll hear it in the audio, right? But that's what I'd be asking. You sure you didn't give anybody the code? Who'd you give it to? Usually. Okay, so let's see. She's saying if she needed to borrow something, Mogan would just text her the code. And then it's in a text, by the way. So Mogan would text her the door code. So then it's in a text, and if someone got into her phone, right, they could see the code. She could forward the code. know what you guys heard until I don't even know how long I was booted. So I have no idea what the last part. So sorry, so sorry. Uh, what was the last part of that document that you heard? Did you I don't know when it actually booted me. It has previous boyfriend, but then her current boyfriend redacted. See if I can share that with you. Um, hmm. Okay, it says I'm live and that you can hear me, but StreamYard is saying something weird. Hmm. The code. That was the last part that you heard, P Fox. The code. Okay. About the door code. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, cool. Door code. Cool. It was forever. It was like Chris Harder. Good to see you, as always. Hmm. There's something going on with my StreamYard, guys. It's like being wicked laggy. My chat is laggy. Hmm. Hang on one second and just let me make sure I'm good here. Yeah, like says my internet's totally fine. I'm at like full bars for everything. It should not be giving me a problem. Hmm. Okay. I think that we're good now. I think that we're good now. I totally think we're good. Isn't this wicked funny, Kane? This is like 3 times. What in the actual fuck is happening? 3 times. Do not, Chris Harder. Go watch Gray Pubes. Stick around, Chris. It only takes a second. It only takes a second. I can fix everything. How's my audio holding up, though? Sound perfect again? Everything good now? Okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're good. We're good. It just takes a minute. Just takes a second. I think we're good now. Okay, so the last part you heard was about the door code. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Let me share this again with you. For the love. They try so hard to make sure I don't get to read these docs, man. For real. There we are. Make sure you can see that. Let me remove myself here. There we go. Make that bigger. Perfect. Okay, cool. Awesome. Hey, Love Tina, how you doing? Yeah, I know, right, Jesse? It's wild. Love Tina, good to see you. Welcome on in, everybody. Sorry, a bunch of people dipped out there like, oh fuck, man, here she goes with her problems again. Her and her damn problems, technical difficulties. It wouldn't be one of my live streams though if we didn't have them. So it is what it is. Thanks to those of you who stick around and understand that we're in this shit for the long haul, technical difficulties and all. Unless it gets real bad, then you know I will rage quit this motherfucker so fast and just go up on Dago's panel or some shit. All right, so let's get mittens for kittens. Hello, Jackie. Hello, ride or die. That's right, P Fox. Ride or die. What up, gangsta? Yeah, 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. You best believe that, Carla. Got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. That's for sure. Just this. It's just the feds. That's my only problem. Fucking spooks. Got 99 problems, and the spooks are the one. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's just jokes. It's just jokes. All I'm doing is cracking jokes. All right, let's get into this. Door code. Door code. Let's go back up here. Door code. Where was that? Here we go. She spent a lot of time at 1122 King Road. I'm not reading everybody's name. Sorry, friends. The document's there. If you want to follow along, you can. I'm going to start putting in my own shit here as we read through the rest of these. She spent a lot of time at 1122 King Road. If she needed to borrow something, Mogan would just text her the door code. Cool. But they would often leave their back door open. So Redacted would just walk around the back and go in. Usually, the people who went to the victim's residence were known by other people in the group. Redacted doesn't usually go to house parties anymore, but Kernodle and Chapin still attend them regularly because they were underage and could not go to the bar. She didn't think any of them had any enemies. She went to high school with Redacted, not in the same grade, and she knew Redacted through Greek life. She did not know either of them well. She knew Mogan had a boyfriend, Redacted. She knew Gonsalves had a previous boyfriend, Redacted. And the current boyfriend Gonsalves was seeing was Redacted. Redacted was really nice, and he and Gonsalves dated for approximately 6 years. Sidebar, um, current boyfriend that Kaylee had, huh? Beckles, it's because I'm saying the word code. Oh, that's funny. So isn't that interesting? Current boyfriend, huh? I mean, all right, Miss Kaylee, you can date him whenever. Good for you, girl. But isn't that interesting? Because we've never heard anything once about her having a current boyfriend ever. And allegedly, her and Jack had only broken up a couple weeks prior. But in a lot of these reports, they'd been broken up for a couple months. I think even Jack says a couple months. But according to her family, it's only like a couple weeks. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just interesting. This person says she knew Gonsalves had a previous boyfriend, Jack, and the current boy Gonsalves was seeing is. She redacted, and Redacted left the corner club before Redacted. Okay. Another one here. Another one of these people saying this. She recalled from previous years there were people on the sex offender registry in the area. So like they look it up. Good for them. They should. But apparently this was a thing. Um, they pay attention to the sex offenders in the area, it would appear, because she's saying she's recalling from previous years. There were people on the offender registry. Well, I mean, who was looking it up? How would you know that unless someone was looking it up? Unless they just like the college, maybe the college get to them or something because they're students. I don't know. The interview ended at approximately 3:27. For complete details, see the complete audio. See what I mean? Just get like supplementals. The complete audio is somewhere. You know, I'd be interested to hear actually like all the questions that these people get asked by the investigators. All right, let's go on to the next one. Supplemental report number 18. It is Ryan Hoxie. Going on to page 56. Let's see. November 18th, Idaho State Police, Detective Pacina and Detective Hoxie conducted an interview with Redacted. Interview was in reference to the murders at King Road, November 13th. Interview took place, see here, they put it again, where they tell you where it took place. Some of these, it's going to be redacted out. Here we have witness, white male, age 21, home, Moscow, other home, Star, evidence, non-drug, audio of his interview. November 18th, 2022 at approximately 1:34, Idaho State Police Detective Pacina and I conducted an interview with Redacted. The interview was in reference to the murders, which occurred at 1122 King Road. Interview took place at the ISP district office, blah, blah, blah. Redacted reported the following. He lived at Redacted, Moscow, Idaho, while attending the University of Idaho. His house is near where the homicide occurred. He also lived at Redacted in Star, Idaho, when he was not at the university. His roommates in Moscow are all of these fucking people and all of these fucking people. And then these people lived upstairs. His house was an all older members of the Redacted fraternity. He only knew Kaylee because Redacted dated her. He met Gonsalves his freshman year when Redacted started dating her. Redacted and Gonsalves' relationship was good. He never saw them fight or have a disagreement. Redacted never talked about his relationship with Gonsalves to him. He did know Redacted and Gonsalves had broken up because Gonsalves got a job offer in Texas. He didn't hear until recently one of the girls had a stalker outside of Winco. See, another one. Didn't hear about it till recently. He heard from his Redacted, or he heard this from Redacted. He did not know if the victims used drugs. On November 12th, 2022, it was game day for the University of Idaho. He wasn't sure when he woke up, but thought it was around 9 a.m. or 10. He got some beer and went upstairs to his house and started drinking. Got some beer, went upstairs to his house and started drinking. From where? Well, where was he? Got some beer, went upstairs to his house, started drinking. Oh, because they all live in the same fucking place. That's right. He went to the Kibbe Dome parking lot for the tailgate before the football game and was there for an hour or two before the game started. He went into the game and left the game about 5 minutes to the end because the University of Idaho was losing. He got a ride from the football game back to his house from his sober buddy. At his house, he drank some more and watched UFC fights. Well, so were you getting a little angry about them losing, friend? You're a little drunk, you're a little angry, then you go watch some UFC. Oh, fucking. I'm just kidding. I'm being snarky. Just being snarky. Don't listen to me. After the fights, he went to the corner club. Well, fuck. Everyone he lived with was at the corner club. He only saw Gonsalves at the corner club. Redacted told him Madison Mogan was there as well. At approximately 1:30 a.m., he called his sober buddy to pick him up. His sober buddy got pulled over, and he didn't want to pile everyone in one car in front of the cops, so he called another sober buddy to pick him up. He, Redacted got a ride home from the second sober buddy. They got home around 1:45 a.m. He made some pizza rolls and went to bed about 15 minutes after getting home. He was intoxicated for a majority of the day and did not remember specific details. He did not have any injuries to his hands, arms, or face. Concluded the interview. Okay. Going on to number 19, Supplemental Report 19, page 58, Kristen Noah. Okay. November 19th, 2022. Idaho State Police Trooper Kristen Noah assisted detectives with homicide investigation that occurred at 112 King Road, Moscow. Let's see. Latah County. No, okay. Canvassing. There we go. So she's tasked with canvassing the neighborhood for security cameras on Conestoga, Cayuse, Pinto, Colt, and Appaloosa. This one's boring AF. Just going to tell you guys that. Try and get through it quick because this one's boring. November 19th at approximately 15:01, Idaho State Police Detective Leslie Lehman and myself, Idaho State Police Trooper Kristen Noah, were requested to canvass the neighborhood area for security cameras on all these streets. Detective Lehman and I started canvassing the neighborhood at the junction of Conestoga and Appaloosa. We started as a residential address redacted and walked south. That's basically all you need to know, right? We ended at residential address redacted Conestoga. We walked west on Colt to the intersection of Pinto. We walked north on Pinto to the intersection of Cayuse. We walked east to Cayuse. We walked back to the intersection of Colt. Started eastbound on Colt, blah, blah, blah. We walk, covering the two residential addresses on Fort Stevens Street and ended at residential addresses redacted, which was near the starting intersection of Appaloosa and Conestoga. The following addresses had residents' homes and confirmed they did not have security home. The following addresses did have residents at home and they confirmed they did not have security cameras. All of these redacted. The following addresses had observation ring doorbell cameras but did not have a resident home. That would be these two. Following addresses had security cameras and had a resident home. Okay, cool. See what we got there. Following addresses had security cameras and did have a resident home. I provided redacted with Detective Lehman's contact information. All of these following addresses did not have residents and did not have observable security cameras outside the house. All of those. That's that. See how boring that one was? I like this guy right here, Matt Wernsing. So Matt Wernsing here seems to pop up along with this Homeland Security Investigative Task Force agent. They seem to pop up together to interview people, which is interesting to me. So we're at Supplemental Report number 20, page number 60. Matt Wernsing, Detective Matt Wernsing. Yeah, see, right here, HSI. So on November 18th, 2022, we have Matt Wernsing again, along with Homeland Security Investigation Task Force Officer Sage Collins and I, Idaho State Police Detective Matt Wernsing, interviewed redacted in regard to the homicides. Interview took place at the ISP District 3 office. This is for a witness, right? Individual, look at this. White female, date of birth 2022, age 0. Home is in Kuskia, Idaho. Does that even make any sense to anyone? Evidence, non-drug. It's a audio recording of redacted's interview. And then it even says down here, date of birth 2022. November 18th, 2022, Homeland Security Investigations Task Force Officer Sage Collins and I, Matt Wernsing, interviewed redacted. But then here in their report, it's date of birth 2002. Isn't that so weird? I just wanted to show that to you guys because I was like, wait, what? They're interviewing. So it's probably just a typo. But isn't that interesting, huh? This person is from Kuskia, whatever. Up here it says age 20, age 0. Date of birth, year is 2022, white female. But then when you get into their report, it says that this person, date of birth is 2002. So this person's being interviewed. They would have been 20 at the time. So they're not a minor. Do they have the box checked that this person's a minor? Let me see. Juvenile, yes. So they have this person listed as a juvenile, but this happened in 2022. And if they were born in 2002, they would be 20, right? Like, I know I don't do drugs. I'm not high and shit. That would be 20 years old. So, interesting. Anyways, the interview took place, blah, blah, blah. Kernodle was one of Redacted's closest friends outside of her sorority, and Redacted knew Chapin through his fraternity. She was not very familiar with Mogan and had never met Gonsalves. Saturday before the incident was the last football game, but there weren't a lot of people around because it was rainy. This part's good. It was also in Vision, Idaho, so there was not supposed to be any alcohol on campus, and there was not supposed to be a lodge party or an organized party at the Redacted Lodge. Redacted went to the lodge party, and there weren't many people there. Because lodge parties are sanctioned by fraternity sorority life, Redacted kept a list of names of those in attendance at the party and checked vandal IDs. So isn't this interesting? Now we know why they were out there doing undercover minor in possession, minor in consumption patrols, because this also happened to be in Vision, Idaho, and there is not supposed to be any alcohol on campus, and there was not supposed to be a lodge party, no organized parties, because they're sanctioned by fraternity sorority life. There are apartments around the Redacted Lodge. Redacted went to an apartment, possibly apartment Redacted, during the lodge party, and Kernodle was in the apartment. Redacted knew Kernodle to party pretty hard and noted Kernodle wasn't super drunk that night. Another friend of Redacted took a photo of Kernodle in the apartment playing guitar and posted it to her Snapchat story around 2 a.m. Redacted took a screenshot of the post. Redacted recalled later in the interview also seeing Kernodle's other roommate, Redacted, at the house. The last Redacted spoke to Kernodle at the Redacted house was approximately 12:45 a.m. When everyone was leaving, Kernodle and Chapin walked away, and Redacted believed they went right home and did not go anywhere else. Redacted got a ride home from a Redacted sober bro named Redacted at approximately 2 a.m. Redacted said Redacted also picked Gonsalves and Mogan up from the grub truck. So this person is saying Redacted got a ride home. This person got a ride home from their sober bro named Redacted at approximately 2 a.m. Redacted said Redacted also picked Gonsalves and Mogan up from the grub truck and can be seen on the grub truck's live Twitch feed doing so. Redacted provided Redacted's phone as Redacted. So, was it a sober bro for the fraternity that actually picked them up? Or do you understand? Because this kid is saying, no, 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 no. We got a ride home from sober bro. Okay. Redacted got a ride home from a sober bro named Redacted at approximately 2 a.m. Redacted said Redacted also picked up Gonsalves and Mogan from the grub truck and could be seen doing so. Interesting. And he provided the person's phone number. Redacted went home at the Redacted house and was hanging out with some friends. The group went to the Redacted pie house next door until approximately 4 a.m. Hmm. Before returning home and going to bed. Hmm. Woke up at approximately 11. They are all waking up. They're all seemingly going to bed. Everybody seems to have the same time. Nope, we went to bed between 3 and 4, didn't get up until about 11. Between 11 and noon. Super interesting, just in my opinion. Redacted woke up at approximately 11 on Sunday to go study at the Redacted house. Okay. Redacted said Kernodle and Chapin were not big drug people and said she had not seen them use Redacted. She stated Kernodle redacted. Okay. Redacted suspected someone would have been going after Gonsalves or Mogan and, quote, ran into Kernodle and Chapin. Hmm. Kernodle was one of the most popular girls in Greek Row, and everyone knew it. Redacted had heard Gonsalves had a stalker, but did not know the validity of that rumor. Redacted thought the Twitch broadcast didn't sit well with her. She said Gonsalves and Mogan looked really uncomfortable in the video. I don't think they did at all. There is a male subject behind them that looked really nervous, but Redacted did not know who the male was. Redacted said Kernodle's friend, Redacted, may know more about possible drama or conflict involving any of the victims. Redacted said Redacted may be a primary source of Redacted on U of I campus and dated Kernodle at some point. I'm going to stop here. This right here, I'm speculating and it's my opinion. This is drugs. Primary source of drugs, cocaine, weed, something. Redacted said, Redacted may be a primary source of Redacted on the U of I campus and dated Kernodle at some point. The only reason I say this is because we have MPD reports that talk about Kernodle's ex-boyfriend, the guy with the nickname, the dealer, and he was like the main supplier and blah, blah, blah. It's in the MPD reports, right? And so I'm just saying. And as we get further into these, if you haven't already read it yet, allegedly, that's who Kaylee's current boyfriend is. It's Xana's ex. As you get further into the reports, if you haven't already read it, it's in there. I'm sure some of you have already gotten to that, which is fine. I know a lot of people have been reading ahead and are probably already done, but yeah, so have I. I've read way ahead. So you'll see as you get further in the documents. Allegedly, Kaylee's current boyfriend at the time of this happening is Xana's ex, and allegedly he is the main source of drugs and or supplying on the campus. Just, I don't know. Isn't that wild? Redacted had also been kicked out of the Redacted and was not currently attending U of I. This interview was concluded at 3 p.m. for blah, 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 complete details, blah, blah, blah. November 19th, I received a text message from Redacted. She told me a man by the name of Redacted had been stabbed in October in Kooskia, Idaho. No one was arrested for the stabbing, and she made note of Kooskia's proximity to Moscow. That's literally it, by the way. That's it about the guy who got stabbed in October. Nothing after that. So, not sure what that was all about. All right, supplemental report number 21. Again, Matt Warren Singh here, also with Homeland Security. Let's see, November 18th. So HSI again, Sage Collins, Matt Wernsing, interviewed Redacted, date of birth, 2000. Interview took place at Redacted in Caldwell. See, sometimes they'll show it to you where the interview took place, and other times it's Redacted. Let's see, maybe their house, probably. Individual, white male, age 22, home in Nampa. School in Moscow. Interviewed in Caldwell. Okay. evidence non-drug, CD of the interview. So there's only certain people, Homeland Security Investigations Task Force Officer Sage Collins here interviews. It's only very specific people. On November 18th, 2022, at approximately 5:24, Homeland Security Investigations Task Force Officer Sage Collins and I, Detective Matt Wernsing, interviewed Redacted, date of birth 2000, in regards to the homicide. Interview took place at Redacted in Caldwell. Redacted knew Gonsalves and Mogan fairly well through school and Greek life. Redacted went to the Corner Club at approximately 9 p.m. on Saturday, November 12th, where he hung out with a group of friends for a few hours. He listed all of these people, Gonsalves and Mogan, as the people he's hanging out with. Gonsalves and Mogan left the Corner Club approximately an hour before Redacted left. Redacted left with Redacted and Redacted at approximately 2 a.m. and went to Redacted and Redacted's house on King Street. Redacted stayed the night at their house. Redacted did not notice anything suspicious. He went to sleep around 3 a.m. and woke up around 11. See what I mean? Same. They all up the same. They all up the same. Went to bed around 3, got up about 11. Interesting. While at the Corner Club, there was a male subject with shorter hair, wearing a dark shirt and a U of I cap. Later put on a white and black plaid flannel. He was being excessive and was paying a lot of attention to Redacted, but not necessarily to Gonsalves or Mogan. Redacted's roommate, Redacted, was Redacted that night and kicked the male subject out. Maybe bartender or something that night. Redacted was Redacted. Redacted was unsure of who else was Redacted that night. He said Redacted and Redacted, also Redacted, and were most likely working on game night. So this is whoever else may have been working, I guess. Fuck, for fuck's sake. Redacted was Redacted's roommate for one semester at one point. Redacted heard one of the roommates, Redacted, had a stalker, but did not believe Gonsalves or Mogan had a stalker. So this person heard one of the roommates, and not Maddie or Kaylee, one of the roommates, meaning Dylan or Bethany. So Dylany, right? One of the roommates, Dylany, had a stalker, but did not believe it was Gonsalves or Mogan. Redacted mentioned an Uber driver named Redacted. Redacted is known to give the sorority girls rides home from bars, Redacted girls in particular. The girls contact Redacted on his personal phone and pay him through Venmo and not through the Uber app. Redacted had given Redacted and Redacted a ride that night and paid Redacted through Venmo. So he had given rides to, let's see, Redacted had given 1, 2, 3 a ride and paid Redacted through Venmo. Interview concluded. Yeah, HSI was like, "Oh, really? Thank you. Thank you for the information. Thank you. We'll come back if we have any more questions for you, buddy." All right, supplemental report number 22. Detective Jeffrey Mooney. This is November 28th. Oh, Mike Mooney. Oh, why do I know that name? Mike Mooney. Son of a bitch, Mike Mooney. That's Bonner's Ferry, isn't it? Let me come back over to chat. Mike Mooney, isn't that Bonner's Ferry? Dave Clayton, yes. Yes, right? Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Welcome on in, everybody. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. So, Mike Mooney took digital photographs of the victims' vehicles located at King Road. So I think this was another one. You don't actually see the photos, so it's not really that. It's just his statement. So the property is photos of the victims' vehicles We have Kaylee's, Maddie's, Xana's, Ethan's. And then it's just his narrative, right? So this was the interesting part to me. So on November 28th, this is 15 days after the crime, the cars are still there. Is that true? Number one, I took digital photographs of the victims' vehicles located at 1122 King Road, Moscow. All of the vehicles were unlocked except for the red Jeep. Hmm. Wearing nitrile gloves, I breached the evidence tape seal on the front door of the residence, retrieved the keys to the Jeep, which were sitting on the stairs, and unlocked the Jeep sitting on the stairs. We have the officers' photos of those stairs. Oh, they didn't move the cars till the 29th. Okay, thanks, honey. I was like, were the cars really still sitting there for that long? Wow. So I guess what I don't understand is we saw the picture of the stairs. We can see the beer cans. There is no one's keys on the stairs. The keys are hanging by the door. You know what I mean? So it's just interesting to me that now he has to retrieve the keys from they're sitting on the stairs, and the only vehicle locked is the Jeep. Hmm. Once complete, I returned the Jeep keys to the residence and resealed the front door with evidence tape marked with my name and the date. Copies of the photographs were provided to the FBI to be used to determine what, if any, methods could be employed to download data from the vehicle's onboard computer hardware and or software. Hmm. Okay. All right. Next one. Supplemental report number 23, page 66. Detective Brandon Rowley, November 30th, 2022. Detective J. Millar interviewed redacted. So Rowley Millar, interview redacted, date of birth 2002. At the Idaho State Police. Yeah, see, they have it listed here. Redacted is a student at the University of Idaho and lives at Redacted in Moscow. Let's see. Witness, white female, age 20, home, Moscow, home, Meridian. Evidence, audio of her interview, November 30th. Okay. Redacted stated she was friends with Xana Kernodle for 2.5 years and more recently with Ethan Chapin since he began dating Kernodle. Redacted stated Kernodle would have a gathering every weekend or every other weekend and she would regularly attend. Redacted stated she knew who the other people at the house or the other people who would usually attend the gatherings. Redacted stated on November 3rd, 2022, she had gone over to Kernodle's apartment located at 1122 King Road around 1 p.m. and was there for about 15 minutes. Redacted stated everyone then left and went over to another apartment commonly referred to as the Redacted for a pregame party. So he's obviously got the date. It's supposed to say the 13th. Okay. Obviously, we know that. It says November 3rd, but it's supposed to say the 13th. It threw me off when I first read it, too. Redacted stated her friends in Kernodle then went to another friend's house named Redacted. Redacted and her friends then attended the football game, and Kernodle decided not to go. So did Kaylee and Maddie, allegedly. They didn't go to the game either. Following the game, Redacted called Kernodle at approximately 7 p.m. Kernodle stated she and her roommates were at their apartment taking a nap and would decide later if they were going to be going back out. Redacted stated that when Kernodle would have get-togethers, she would usually invite men from the Redacted and Redacted fraternity houses and girls from the Redacted and Pi sorority. So Redacted and Pi Phi? Alpha and Pi? I don't know. Redacted stated her friend group would also be invited. Redacted stated it was usually the same people from each house that would come. Redacted stated she knew Kernodle occasionally redacted. Redacted stated she wasn't usually around when she would redact. Okay. Redacted stated she had heard rumors of Kaylee having a stalker, but only heard about it after the murders. There's another one. Heard rumors of Kaylee having a stalker, but not till after the murders. That's when the rumors of stalking and shit started spreading, not before. Interesting. Redacted said the back door was always kept unlocked because the front door had a code and it would usually lock automatically. Redacted stated she heard of other rumors that one of the roommates had taken the dog out and someone jumped out of a tree at them. Huh. So Redacted stated she heard of other rumors that one of the roommates had taken the dog out and someone jumped out of a tree at them. Redacted said she heard another rumor that the killer entered the back door and was wearing a mask. Hmm. Redacted stated after the football game, she went home and eventually fell asleep. Oh my goodness, let me check on my chat, see how everybody's doing. How you doing over here? Welcome, welcome, welcome on in, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great day. Lana, hello. Good to see you, darling. KP, hello. Welcome in. Colleen, good to see you. Who am I missing? Dan Smith, hello. Good to see you. Love always. Choppy Boss, Tay, Kate, welcome in, everybody. Tammy, hello. Good to see you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Probably won't be here much longer. We're going at 2 hours and 12 minutes, and you know I'm already getting antsy. Once I hit that like 2 hour mark, I start getting real antsy. Maybe we'll read like one or two more and then I might be done. What do you think? Appreciate everybody hanging out with me, though. I really do. This is just for preservation of the record purposes and for funsies with you guys. Yes, hello, Lana. Dan Smith gifted a membership. Well, thank you so much, Dan Smith. You're awesome. Appreciate that. It's not showing up over here for me. I'm going to try and star it for you, and hopefully it will let me see it later when I go to shut this down. What's making you sleepy, Chris? What's making you sleepy? Me reading? It's meant to be sleepy. If it's making you sleepy, I mean, sorry. I don't know what you want me to do. Do you want me to like have sound effects or something? Do you need music? What do you need? I'm just reading reports, homie. I don't know what more you want. Yeah, I know, right? Lucy? Jumping out of the woods while taking the dog to go to the bathroom. I mean, that's wild. All right, well, we'll get into it. Oh, you love it because it's making you sleepy, Chris. Okay. Thank you, Brian's Ramblings. Yes, Dan Smith. Thank you. Thank you for the gifted membership. Welcome, new member, whoever got the gifted membership. Lucky you. All right, we'll read a couple more and then I'm going to get going because even though it's my day off, I do have other things I want to do. I want to go to Dollar Tree. So we all know how I feel about Dollar Tree. I need to go get my Dollar Tree fix in this week. All right, so here we go. We're at supplemental report number 24, page 68. This is Detective Hugh Powell. Let's see, what do we got here? November 17th, 2022. ISP Detective Hugh Powell and ISP Detective Jake Schwecke interviewed Redacted. Interview is in reference to the murders, which occurred at King Road in Moscow. Interview took place at Redacted in Pullman, Washington. Redacted is roommates and friends with Redacted, aka Redacted. Redacted was seen with Madison Mogan at the Corner Club during the early morning hours of November 13, 2022, and were partners in a marketing project together. So we have this male witness, age 28, who is the roommate of, I believe this is for Cole Barenberg, but don't quote me. He's the roommate of the male who was seen with Maddie at the Corner Club and also did a marketing project with her. Home is in Moscow. Evidence is non-drug. It's obviously is audio interview. See what we got here. On November 17th, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so according to him, they met while they both worked together at Redacted approximately 5 years ago. He has been roommates with this person off and on for the past couple years, but most recently, a little less than a year. The other two roommates in the house were Redacted and Redacted, and they are a couple. And Redacted were a couple. He has never known Redacted to have a girlfriend since they've known each other. He has never known Redacted to have a girlfriend since they've known each other, but knows of a former girlfriend named Redacted who he dated in high school. She now lives in Portland, Oregon. On November 12th, 2022, at approximately 9:30 to 10 p.m., he and Redacted went to Mingle's Bar after attending a dart tournament at the Moose Lodge earlier in the day. Shortly after 11 p.m., they left Mingle's. Shortly after 11 p.m., they left Mingle's and went to the Corner Club. Both he and Redacted were drunk. He met a girl named Redacted while at the club around 11:30 p.m. and did not see Redacted the rest of the night, so he didn't see his roomie the rest of the night. He was unaware of who Redacted was talking to or hanging out with at the club. On November 13th, he got home around 1:24 a.m. and went to Redacted's room and saw that he was passed out. He was surprised to see him so early because he normally shuts down the bar. So that's interesting. Surprised to see him so early because he normally shuts down the bar. He has known Redacted to get flirty and handsy with girls when he gets drunk. He was unaware of Redacted being kicked out of the Corner Club earlier that night. Sunday evening, they talked about the incident, and he remembers Redacted mentioning that he had a marketing class with one of the girls, Madison Mogan. At approximately 13:39, we concluded the interview. Okay. So, where are we at? We're at supplemental report number 25, page 70. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing. Next live that I do, we'll just kick it off and start off at page 70. Hopefully. Sorry about myself getting booted out of my own live 3 times. Thanks for sticking around. There's over 200 of you still here, so, thumbs it up, thumbs it down. Hopefully my audio at least held up for us. Yeah. So we're not doing too bad, okay? I know that all of us have gotten pretty far in the documents on our own, but as far as here on the channel, we're at page 70. Next live I do will probably be later tonight. We'll start at page 70 and try to get to like 100, 120, 125, something like that. Try and do a later one so that I can go for like 2-3 hours. But either way, yeah, because I pay for StreamYard now. So, I can stream as long as I want and we can be up here for some hours if I have time. You guys just know that I get really antsy at like 2 hours and then I'm going to need a break or something. So either way, keep your notifications on. Try and schedule a live for later. Mods, appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for modding for me. I hope you know how much I appreciate it. Members, thank you. Subscribers, thank you. Don't forget to thumbs it up on your way out, thumbs it down, follow your heart. And we'll see you next time, yeah? Probably tonight. Keep your eyes out. Maybe see you this afternoon after dinner time or something. Have an awesome day. See you soon. Bye. Oh, wait, look, I found my starred. I found my starred things. I actually found the chat. Chappy Boss, $1.99. Chappy Boss, thank you so, so, so much. You want to see the water meter reading for that day, huh? Same, same. Thank you so much for your super sticker, Chappy Boss. And then Dan Smith, yes, thank you for your gifted membership. Truly appreciate you. Those are the only two that I can see. So if there was anybody else, I'm sorry if I'm missing you. But those are the two I see. And I found my little box where my starred things are. So thank you so much to the both of you. Truly appreciate every single one of you. Hope you guys have an awesome, awesome day. Bye.